Agency update for August and honestly a little bit of July. So let me just quickly run through the numbers. In July, we did 115,000 New Zealand dollars in revenue, which is about 70,000 in profit. And then this month we did about $84,000 New Zealand revenue with about $25,000 in profit. So overall, still good, still healthy, but a big dip from the previous month. Now, apologies, I didn't give an agency update last month. It's because I've been like struggling with motivation lately, and that's actually going to be something I want to talk a little bit about in today's agency update. But let me just give you a lay of the land in terms of what I've been doing, what we're working on within the agency, and basically where we're at. Now, before I start, if this is the first time watching one of these, my name's Gavin. I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and this is just me documenting my journey as an agency owner, no fluff, and really just showing you like what I'm doing with my company and maybe providing you with some lessons and things that you can learn going into your own agency as well. I try to be as honest as possible with these videos, so I'm gonna talk about a few things that have been tough for me these last 2 months. But let's quickly go through the numbers. Revenue last month was July was our highest revenue month we've ever done, 115K. August was really good as well, it was like our second highest. And then we've also got 7 full-time staff now, and just last week, I'm recording this on September 1st, 2025, I was in Argentina for 2 weeks meeting a bunch of my teammates. So we have 3 full-time staff down in Argentina, and I flew down there just to meet them, work with them, and that was awesome. And I highly recommend anybody who runs an agency, especially when they run it remotely, to meet their team where they can. I didn't get any direct ROI from flying down to Argentina to meet some of my team. You know, it was an 8-hour flight, but I did get a much deeper connection with the people that I met down there, which I know makes me feel, first of all, just good as like a human being, but also really helps if I'm thinking about it from just purely business. Retention with the staff. Like, I know we get along really well. They're great dudes and they like me and I like them, and that's just gonna help keep our team together, because when you're starting a company, more often than not, you can't afford to pay the highest rates. Now, I know for me and my agency at the stage that we're at, we are paying above market rate for our staff, but I also know that pay isn't the biggest motivating factor. When it comes to retaining staff, it's whether or not they respect you, like working at the company. Pay is obviously a formula, but it's not the biggest one. And then also if they see potential to grow within the company. And that's something I tried really spelling out for pretty much everyone on my team, that there is room for you to grow when it comes to working with us. So that was really cool. In terms of the initiatives we're working on right now, we've restarted our SEO. So we're investing about 3,000 US per month on SEO with a guarantee from the agency that we're working with to get us to 100 clicks per month on high intent keywords. We've previously identified all the keywords that we're going to be going after within the SEO strategy as a whole. So we know exactly what keywords we want to hit and exactly where we want to be after, I think it's like a 4-month engagement right now. So about 12 to 15 grand is what we're going to be spending on this. But the way that I see it, if we can get 2 or 3 clients over the next year, 2 years using the SEO strategy, it'll pay for itself. Now, I also know that AI is coming to ruin everyone's life. I get it, whatever, let's just see what happens, okay? I've tried ads, hasn't worked. We're also restarting cold email, as we're now offering that as a service with our business, because we've been selling cold email to a few of our clients, and we're now expanding it and helping other businesses with their B2B lead generation through cold email and even a little bit of cold calling. So, as far as where the business is at, things are good. But one of the things I've been really struggling with lately, I don't know if it's burnout, but it's definitely like motivation. And sometimes I really struggle with like finding that higher purpose in terms of why I'm doing this. What am I doing this for? And I'll be honest, I still don't think I've fully figured it out. I want to have a family. I know that. I want my team to be able to support their lives and their kids and their family through the work that we do at the agency. But sometimes even that, I don't have like the grit that I had like 4 years ago when I first started. Now I'm still working 12-hour days, I'm ripping the work, but like I don't have, I feel the work more, if that makes sense. It feels hard. And I think feels harder than what it used to. Because when I first started, everything was exciting, go, 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 everything was new, but a lot of the stuff now feels like somewhat routine. And it's something that I struggle with almost every day now. And a lot of the times, that can lead to some pretty dark paths, I have found for me personally, where I feel like a little aimless, a little lost, and also it's okay, make more money, you know what I mean? And I live a very comfortable life now. I'm like, okay, well, what does more money do for me? It's nothing. And so one thing that I've tried focusing on is the future version of myself. Gavin in 5 years wants to have kids. Okay, so right now I'm working to support a family. And it's a little harder because You know, I don't have that family right now, but that does give me a little bit of an extra drive and a little bit of an extra push. Now, I also know that like, you know, the space is filled with like, you know, don't worry about motivation, focus on discipline, all good and well, but goddamn, it can be a lot harder to work when you're not motivated and you still have to do the stuff or do the thing. And so for me, like, I guess the thing that I'm navigating right now in my life and with my work is, you know, what do I want? You know, I'm almost 30 now and I'm trying to think about like, yeah, what is a future version of myself and what is this business doing for me? And honestly, I haven't come up with an answer yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I mean, I was journaling about it right here and even that's been like just an interesting thing. But, you know, we'll see. Motivation, I don't know, we'll see. I'm very like, I want to get this business up. Like my goal is to get to 100,000 US by the end of the year. You know, I think we can get there. We did about 75, 80 last month. I think there's a chance that we can do this, but we'll see. We also hired new copywriters, and this is an interesting take for anybody who is a copywriter. We did a test, and the test results from almost everyone who applied were just terrible. The bar is so low for hiring good people that you just have to be halfway decent at what you do, and I guarantee you can find work. I interviewed about 10 different copywriters. We had like 30 people who didn't even read the terms and conditions of the job post on LinkedIn. And then about, you know, freaking 10 had typos in their proposals, right? When they wrote me a message. Like, be professional, right? Don't be like, hey, how are you, with the letter U, doing? Instant disqualification. And then like the emails that they sent over to me were terrible, like just super lackluster. The bar is low when you're looking for work. Also, in terms of if you're looking for work, on that note, one of the biggest things that we've seen work really well with our agency is other agencies giving us work through white labeling. Now, with the white labeling though, it can be a bit of a pain because what we've found is that a lot of these agencies don't want the client to know that they're using our agency as a white labeling service. And what ends up happening is they want us to use their email addresses, or they want us to make sure nothing looks like it's coming from our agency, which adds like an extra layer of complexity that makes it really hard to scale your business. So like at the time of recording right now, we have like one agency that white labels us. We did have 4, and there's just like layers of complexity that make it difficult. It's a great way to get cash through the door initially, but I don't think it's a sustainable way to grow. If you do have an opportunity for white labeling, push the angle of, hey, listen, we're happy to white label as long as the client knows that we are not employees and rather another agency that you're engaging. Or if that doesn't work, why don't we just do like a referral fee where it's 10% of everything that you sell or we sell to the client, you get a kickback on. Because honestly, if an agency is white labeling your services, odds are they're charging an extra 10 to 20 to 30% on top of what you're charging them to make up for it. And you could just say, hey, listen, like this is our price. We're gonna increase our prices by 15% and then we're gonna give you 30% of whatever we charge. That way you only lose 15% of your margin in exchange for pretty consistent deal flow from these agencies. And it's better for the agency that wanted to white label you because now they're no longer tied to your work. If there's a mistake with your work, it doesn't reflect badly on them. And it's also less work for them. They don't have to manage you, the creative, and all that good stuff. So that's my update, guys. A short one, I think, but overall, agency's doing really well. We're growing. The only thing I'm really working on right now is ripping the YouTube, ripping the SEO, ripping cold email, and then obviously ripping my sense of self-worth and motivation. But that is for next month's update. If you like these videos, subscribe. I make these once again just to document my journey, share things that I'm learning, and also really just to give myself something to look back on. But if you have any questions, please ask below. Check out my other channel, check out the newsletter. There's a bunch of cool stuff there too. And I'll see you in the next video.